Okay, so today I'm coming to you from my new workshop, which I've built in the backyard. 50 square meters, 3 meters tall, or what's that, 550 odd square feet, I suppose, give or take. Merca. I've hung that flag at the moment, but I haven't hung the one on the back side. But yes, my new shed allows me a hoist, and hopefully I can get this thing finished and on the road, and we can start on the next project, because there will be one. This is me, but makes life simpler. And with that, I wanted to do an update on the rear tow arms from Flatout Engineering and my adjustable camber arms. So let's start with the rear tow arm kit from Don at Flatout. Shipped direct to me over here in New Zealand. Took about 2 weeks USPS before they closed the gates, and I've got to say I'm pretty impressed. It basically lowers, as I've tried to explain in one of the other videos, the center of where these bars are about 2 inches, meaning that rather than the bar sitting on the top of this knuckle here, the bar now sits through a long bolt and joint on the bottom side. Now once this is all under load, rather than the arm being just here and having to come up and hit the chassis rail all the time, the arm sits about here. And as you can see, the arm follows pretty much perfectly the axle in the back here. And that's the main thing, because that is what will give you bump steer. If you have this and that at a different rate, when they're going through their circles, this arm here effectively pushes in and out, giving you bump steer. Or something like that. Look it up, it's on YouTube. But yes, so overall, really impressed with the kit. Nice, good quality ball joints. Didn't have any issues fitting it. Went straight in, everything's tightened up. No missing parts, and again, Flatout Engineering, who supplied all my rear subframe kit and that, for the conversion. Absolutely a pleasure to work with Don and the guys. So if you are going to do it, he's your one, in my opinion. The rear camber arms, unfortunately the supplier over here in New Zealand didn't have left-handed threaded heim joints at the time, so I can't just do it as a twist in, twist out to, you know, adjust the overall length. I've got double right-handed threads at either end. So it means you basically just got to open it up, drop it, you know, twist it, put it back up to lengthen it or shorten it. But hey, it is what it is. Still uses the factory camber plate on the back here, which at the moment is set to right in. And I've got this bar, what I believe, on its shortest run, so that we can push that out to get me the normal camber, which at the moment we've got a positive camber, so it's leaning this way, but when it comes down it should be sitting flat. So yeah, that's just a steam pipe, and again I used all the factory mounts, factory bolts, and just had a couple of spacer plates made up for in here, which have a small chamfer on them to allow non-interference with the heim joint. Oh, and they're up there as well. So there's some up in there. You can actually see the chamfer on that one. It was so small, but stops it from hitting it. Ouch! My big New Zealand flag's going to go on the wall on this side. I haven't got around to that because I've run out of bloody screws to hang it up. I'm going to need 2 hands to drop the hoist to show you the engine. Stand by. So yeah, there's my back wall, and that's where my New Zealand flag's going to sit. Right next to the American flag. So anyway, under the engine bay, I've only changed a couple of things. The vent box that I made, so previously the LS runs a port which generally mates here, comes back to the inside of the throttle body and back into the intake manifold for the PCV system. I was running it up to here, down through all the system, through the baffles, and breathing out to atmosphere. Because this is a late model engine, even though it's an old truck, I still have to run a PCV system. So, we, in my infinite wisdom, I suppose you could call it, went and bought an LS6 valley cover, which has the PCV system between the 2 NOx sensors built in to the, so it basically runs out of the the breather at the bottom of the valley between the cylinder heads. I was lucky. There's a number of different blocks. Early blocks had a big dowel over the side here in the valley, which you had to grind away. There's videos on YouTube. I guess I've got the late model version of that because I didn't have that issue. I didn't have the dowel, and my valley cover just literally bolted straight on. So now my PCV system comes from here, and there are 4 ports on the back of the Holly throttle body that are vacuum ports. Ooh, that one's for the brake here, and the one on the other side is now for the PCV system. So yes, there is some oil possibly still capable of going up into there, but what I plan on doing is running that up over to an oil separator box, no air filter, straight back out and into the back of here, so that helps catch any extra oil before it goes in, keeping any air going into the engine clean. And at the moment, this is the other end of the PCV. It normally goes off the front here, runs out before the throttle body on the LS1. So I've just got to drill and tap that and make that look pretty, but I'm trying to come up with a better solution. I'm going to probably get an elbow in here and then run it up into the back side. But at the moment, this is just free breathing. So yeah, that's all I've done in the engine bay. Other than my garage, should get me progressing along nicely. In the next week or so, I'm going to start making the support plates for this wing here, because that has a bit of movement under braking and suspension. So yeah, watch this place.